You know what? 2017 was definitely amazing, wasn't it? Well, I hope you had an amazing year, because I'm going to go ahead and share right now James's bold predictions for what to expect in 2018. And this is going to include Bitcoins, what I think is going to happen to the Bitcoin market, some politics and war, and of course, what's going on in the real estate market. So you definitely want to stay tuned for this. You don't want to miss a single moment. All right, let's get started right now. So, real estate prices. Where do I think it's going to go? People ask me all the time, every social gathering I'm at, everywhere I go, once they find out I connect people, properties, and possibilities, they ask me, how's the market? So here's where I think the market's going to go. It's going to stay up. It's not going to continue rising. It's going to stabilize. It's going to, go up and down a little bit through it depending on the season. But overall, it's still going to be a very stable market. So that's what you can expect for your home values. And if you're still going to buy a home next year, you are going to retain your values because it is not going to crash. And it may go down a little bit momentarily depending on interest rates, what's going on in politics a little bit. People are reactive. It may slow just temporarily, but overall, it's going to be stable. You're going to maintain your home values. And of course, you may be watching the news and you hear all these things about what's going on in Congress and that tax bill. I'm sure you've heard they're getting rid of property tax deductions, state income tax deductions for federal taxes. They're getting rid of mortgage interest deductions. That is not true. It has partial truth. What they are doing is they're reducing it a little bit. Right now, the limits, it's wide. They just want to bring it back down. That's all they're doing. They're not getting rid of it. You're still going to have it. So rest assured, you're still going to have those benefits owning a home. And because of that, I don't see that affecting the market at all. It may be momentarily, right when the news comes out. It may be a little pause, and then it'll restart again. All right? So it is safe. Don't worry about the tax bill. And you know what? There's still maximum demand for homes. The new construction starts that are coming out, it's not meeting the demands of the buyers today. And the ones that are feeling the biggest pinch are first-time home buyers. So, in fact, the longer you wait, the more you are going to feel a pinch, because I'll give you a perspective. If you're trying to buy a home, for example, $100,000 home, and you're trying to use a FHA loan, it's 3.5%, but let's just say 3% to make math easier. You save up $3,000 finally after 5 years. But in that time, home values have gone up to $150,000, $200,000, for example. Now, you're only at $3,000, 3% of what you thought you needed to save for $100,000. You miss out because now you saved up enough money, but you still don't have enough money because home values have gone up. So, first-time home buyers are feeling the pinch the most, and they're still going to feel the pinch next year. Let me share some statistics with you. First-time home buyers in 2016, they were 34% of all the sales. But come this year in 2017, so far they're recording only 29% of the sales are coming from first-time home buyers. So you can see they went from 34% of the sales to 29% of the sales. So you can see that's a little drop right there. And like I said, it's because they are feeling the biggest pinch with the home prices right now. So the sooner you get your foot in the door, it doesn't have to be the perfect home. It could be a condo just to build your equity and pay down your principal every time you make your mortgage payments. That's where the advantage is in owning a home as soon as possible. It doesn't have to be your perfect home, but getting your foot in the door. Hope that makes sense for you. And I want to share another statistic with you. Homeowners on average net 46 times more than renters do. So overall, their net value, ends up being 46 times more than renters. That's a shared statistic on the Realtor Source, and I wanted to share that with you because it's very important. I strongly believe real estate is a path to prosperity. It's not going to make you wealthy where you have too much money to spend, you don't even know where to put it, but it can let you sleep well at night. Prosperity. I'm not talking filthy rich, but prosperity. And I think, if I believe I have you correctly, that is what you want, prosperity in your life. And here is another piece of news why I'm so confident that I predict 2018, you're still going to see growth in the economy and home prices are going to be fine. Even with disasters going on, even if interest rates go up, even if war happens. And I'm going to talk about war in a moment. I used to be a political science major. I actually love politics. So I'd be glad to touch off on some politics as well. But let me quote from the New York Times right now. The Republican tax bills making their way through the House and Senate would allow companies to bring nearly $3 trillion in profits home at greatly reduced tax rates. You know how much a trillion is? Well, actually, let me start back. $1 billion. If you get a $100 bill, you can stack it as high as the Empire State Building, and that's approximately $1 billion. So you do the math. How many billions are in a trillion? And then $3 trillion are coming back to the United States. You can imagine that trickle effect on how that will benefit the economy. And here's what happens. I mean, even my favorite phone company, phone maker, iPhone, they have profits they left overseas, and as long as they don't bring it back to the United States yet, they're not paying taxes on it because they don't want to bring it back. It's a higher tax rate than they really want to pay. So now that this tax bill has a limited time for them to bring that money back at a reduced tax rate, they're going to bring it back, of course. Not everything. I mean, from other estimates and sources I've heard, there's about $7 trillion not in the country right now, US dollars. But because of this tax bill, about $3 trillion is coming back. Some is better than nothing, because if this wasn't in the tax bill, they probably won't bring any of it back. So that's another reason why you're going to have a strong 2018. You may hear it in CNN or whatever news source you watch. Actually, I don't even watch CNN, so I don't know what they're telling you these days. But yeah, they may be skipping out on a lot of tiny little minute details that can make a difference in your day-to-day life, the trickle-down effect. So that's enough with economy, with real estate market. I'm going to talk to you about a few other things. I want to talk to you about Bitcoin and what I see is going to happen with war and politics and how that's going to affect the economy and your housing market. The next big thing, Bitcoins. I'm sure you're looking into how you can invest in Bitcoin or wondering why the hell are people even investing in Bitcoin. So let me tell you, Bitcoin started I think 2008 or 2009. It was supposed to be just like a test for blockchain technology. I'm not going to talk about that. It's just a kind of technology to track payments and who the currency belongs to. But what people are doing right now, they're really speculating. They're just hoping people are going to continue buying and they're not the last ones to buy it and be the sucker and then take a loss. Because in order for it to go up in value, someone has to be willing to buy it. And even when you sell it, when it's going down, someone has to be willing to buy it at that lower price. So what's going on with Bitcoin? Here's what I think is going to happen to it. I'm not going to go too much more into what it is or how it works. I'll tell you what I think is going to happen next year. Because I think regulators are going to start stepping in, regulating Bitcoin, and it's going to go down. I think it'll stay under $1,000, and that's where it'll be in the long run, in the foreseeable future. I don't see it going away, but it's going to be under $1,000 where it could actually be used. Because initially, Bitcoin was meant to transfer money in the underworld, where people do business that is not legal. So they use it to move money around, almost like money laundering. But because it's fluctuating the way it is, who in the right mind would use that to facilitate transfer of money? So it's not going to happen. So right now, there's actually no use for Bitcoin right now, in a sense. I mean, you can't count on it to transfer money around. I mean, one day it's up $10,000, next day it's down $3,000. I mean, that's not a good business decision. I wouldn't put my money in that. So my advice to you is avoid Bitcoin, but if you do get in on it, expect that money to be gone already. All right? Don't think about it, because that's only going to take away peace in your life. So that's my advice for you on Bitcoin. And next, I do foresee more conflicts in the Middle East, oil crisis, and possibly, hopefully not, a war with North Korea. But even with that, I see that as an isolated incident. that will not affect our economy sufficiently because of what the tax bill includes and how strong our economy is. And we are getting more and more self-sufficient, even with oil. We are producing a lot of oil in our own country. In fact, the United States was one of the reasons why oil prices have gone down, because of the glut, because they're producing more and more oil with the technology they're able to use to extract more. So that's some exciting things going on, and you can expect that next year in 2018. And even though there may be wars, I don't expect it to be a prolonged war. It may go on for a short period of time, and then they'll go back to the negotiating table. So I went over my wild predictions, the big ones I wanted to share with you. Where real estate prices are going to go, I would say it's going to be stabilized. Bitcoin going down, and then some small wars, but it'll be contained and isolated without affecting our economy dramatically. So I hope you're able to use that and plan ahead for 2018, because I think we're all looking ahead with some New Year's resolutions and high hopes for our own future. Of course, looking forward to more prosperity in our lives, and I hope I'm able to contribute to that. Other than that, I want to wish you a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and when you're free, reach out to me. Let's grab a cup of coffee, let's talk, let's have a strategy session. That way you can be in a position of strength and you can take advantage of the strategy we discuss together whenever you're ready. I look forward to hearing from you soon. You take care. Happy 2018. Make it a good one.